How we doing, Sambuca? Plano, Texas. This is great. I had a lot more energy before I came up here. I ate about 6 mozzarella sticks and I can barely breathe right now. So that is something I'm dealing with. Yeah, it's rough. I just got back from Vegas doing comedy. Had a great time. So much fun. I did realize something about myself while I was there. I'm apparently very white trash. Yeah, like the kind of white trash where your Sunday school teacher and your first kiss, usually the same person. You know? My Aunt Linda, actually. Too much tongue Linda, that's what we call her. So, she made a man out of a lot of our family members, I'll say that. I grew up pretty white trash, actually, when in East Texas. I know we got a few East Texas people in here. There we go. My other white trash brothers and sisters. But I grew up pretty white trash in East Texas. I was raised in government apartments for about the first 5 years of my life by a single mom who worked 3 jobs, pretty much like a Reba McEntire song. But this was in the 90s too, when parenting was really still just being beta tested, you know? No one was taking that shit serious. It was like bowling, you know? It was really just on the weekends and drunk after time. But my sister and I, we would be there at the apartments, and just whoever was off work at our apartment complex, that's who our babysitter was. Like, we would wake up in the morning, there would be a stranger smoking a cigarette on our couch, just like, you kids ever stripped copper before? It is a miracle that we did not get molested. Way more. You can dodge some bullets, you can't dodge them all, you know? So, but I'm still a little bit white trash. I still have some of it in me, you know? Like, anytime my wife and I have sex, her credit score goes down. She's at a 750. I'm masturbating a lot, you know? So, another white trash thing that I do, and I actually still do to this day, is I will get my hair cut at Walmart. That's an insane thing to do, you're right. It's bad every time and I keep going back. I don't know if it's the consistency. I don't know. You can't go to a place that sells condoms and tires and expect to get a good haircut. You know? So, like the last time I went in there, the woman that cut my hair was actually going through a really bad divorce. And I know that because she told me every single detail. Like the second I sat down in the chair, she was just like, I think all men should be castrated. How much are we taking off? It's like, Brenda, please put the scissors down. So, you guys having a good time tonight? I said it. No, I'm just kidding. If I was just like an announcer like that. I actually am from a town called Grand Saline, Texas. So I grew up. Got a few in the house. It's actually where I grew up. And one thing I do love about Grand Saline and East Texas in general are the doctor's offices there. My doctor's office sits between a Boost Mobile and a 7-Eleven. I could get a prostate exam and a vape at the exact same time. And then 7-Eleven's just like, pull your pants up, dude. Get the hell out of here. I mean, they still give me the prostate exam because I paid, so. But my doctor's office is real sketchy too. Like, there's signs everywhere that just say cash only. No card, no credit, no check, nothing like that. And they give me the same medication for depression and a sinus infection, you know? They're like, Mr. Morgan, you're coughing up green mucus, huh? Xanax. It's gonna clear it right up. And it did. So, I really knew it was sketchy when he like took half of it with me. He's a badass doctor. His prescription pad just said parachuting, you know. You know, anybody in here know what parachuting is? Yeah? Anybody want to tell me? No? I do that joke that way to sift out the drug addicts in the room, just so you know. So, but Grant Saline's cool. I did enjoy growing up in that area. And one reason is because I grew up in a town of like 3,000 people, very much in the country. And half of the population there is legally named Bubba. Yeah. They're usually all wearing the same outfit too. They always got the same uniform on. Overalls, Crocs. That's an outfit that says, don't check my search history. So, and I've got Bubbas in my family too. They've never once told me any kind of information that I needed to know. Not once. They've never been like, hey Michael, here's what you want to know about Roth IRA. They've sent me pictures of shits they've taken. That's about it. So, but that's why there's no CEOs named Bubba anywhere, you know? Like, tell me this, you get on a plane and you take your seat and you immediately hear, this is your Captain Bubba. Right, that plane's gonna land upside down. All right. Thank you for flying Spirit. I will say, I just recently flew Frontier. I didn't realize it could get worse than Spirit. I pissed off the entire city of Denver, Colorado on TikTok. And I've been living with the consequences for about the last 2 weeks. They've been lighting my ass up. I said one thing on TikTok, and this isn't a joke. I said, the Denver airport is like the Motel 6 of airports. I didn't even make it out of the Frontier terminal. No wonder it's the Motel 6. I paid for the Motel 6, you know? So, it's not a joke, just kind of something I'm dealing with. I didn't date a lot growing up in Grand Saline either. Mostly because I couldn't, but really because, like I said, it's a town of 3,000 people, you know? Like you go on a date, you're like, man, we got along so well. We have so much in common. DNA. You're right. You're right. DNA, that is what we had in common. I still fingered her because I'm a Christian though. And my parents raised me right, okay? Daddy said never leave them dry. His dying words to me. So I'll let that one sit for a minute. Caught some of you off guard. So, just Michael up here just finger banging cousins. So, I got picked on a lot in Grand Saline school too. Obviously because I'm dressed like a youth pastor with some serious sexual, you know, issues against them. Sexual allegations, you know. Or I look like Peter Pan if he played drums for Fall Out Boy. You know. But I got picked on a lot in school for things that were kind of off to me, you know. They would pick on me for like being in theater and being in band and things like that. They would call me gay for playing saxophone. Yeah, thank you. They would call me gay for playing saxophone. I didn't realize that was like a cornerstone of the gay community either. You know? In my defense, I've never had a gay guy come up to me and be like, I like two things, hard cock, smooth jazz. Which is also why I taught myself how to do a backflip in 7th grade. Because I was like, man, these kids will think I'm cool. You know? They didn't. I thought it was going to be like, look at that kid do the backflip. That's awesome. They were like, look at that kid do the backflip. Let's beat the shit out of that kid. And they did. So, spoiler alert. But that's why I started taking karate at the age of 15. It's a weird age to start karate.
Yeah.
Thank you, it is.
Yeah.
Most kids are getting out of karate at 15 to start getting hand jobs, you know? I started karate at 15, surrounded by 10 and 11-year-old black belts in a 45-year-old man's basement that locked from the inside with a key. You guys getting where I'm going with this? We also got hand jobs. So, old Sensei Carl, he had a real kung fu grip, you know. I personally thought it was more of like a Karate Kid situation, you know, whack on, whack off. But I got picked on in school. Another reason I got picked on in school was because I was just a giant nerd. I loved Marvel and superheroes and all that stuff, which is also why at an age that I won't disclose to you, but I will say it is a double-digit age, I wore a Spider-Man costume underneath my clothes to a hospital where my grandfather was dying from a stroke. My entire family didn't notice. No one noticed. And I don't know if you've seen a Spider-Man costume under a crew-cut t-shirt, but the gloves connected to the entire thing. So I've just got red webbing everywhere, you know? Just like up to my neck. My family was so distraught, they didn't notice. The person that noticed, the nurse, actually, she just walked in like, Mr. and Mrs. Morgan, we've got the lab result. Is your 17-year-old son wearing a Spider-Man costume under his clothes? My mom just looked at me like, he plays the saxophone. I don't know how else to word this. And that's actually a big reason why I went on to my next adventure and joined the United States Marine Corps. That's why I do it right there. Not a lick of patriotism, just the appreciation. I love it. And the 10% off at Subway. Both of those things. But I joined the Marines because I was like, man, I want something that'll toughen me up, that'll make a man out of me. I want to go somewhere no one else could ever call me gay again. I went to the gayest place on earth. Gayest place on earth. Immediately when I got there, they were like, all right, Morgan, we're going to strip your clothes down, go get in this weird conga line of 45 other naked men that they called nut to butt. I shouldn't paint you a picture, but I will. You know, you're all just standing there like this in a weird human centipede type formation. You know? And you're all praying the same prayer. God, if you're real, don't let me get hard. Yeah. So I'm an atheist. Lost my faith in God that day, actually. I was just like, there's no God. So I actually, when I got out of the Marine Corps, almost immediately, I went to jail. True story. I went to jail for possession of marijuana. It's a true story. Long, long time ago. And in my mind, I was like, okay, I was a Marine. The Marines prepared me for this, you know. They toughened me. They hardened me, you know. So as soon as I got there, I was like, I'm going to find the biggest and the baddest motherfucker I can find. And I blew him. Immediately. I was actually only in there for like half a day. I didn't even make it out of holding. I would just walk in like, whose dick do you gotta suck for some protection around here? And that's how I met Scarface Larry. Great guy. Great guy. There was another time that I actually almost went to jail for marijuana and didn't. I was actually riding around with two other friends of mine in Canton, Texas. Any Canton, Texas in here? There's a couple. Oh my God, really? You're a long way from home. But I did. I was riding around Texas, Canton, Texas with two other friends of mine, and we got pulled over from leaving a friend's house. And the cop comes to the window and everything, and he asks my friend, you know, license, insurance, all that stuff. My friend goes, it's in my glove box. I knowingly knew that there was marijuana in that glove box. So I was like, you don't have insurance on this vehicle. There's no way, you're completely uninsured. And he's like, no, it's in there. And I was like, I swear to God, on my mother's life, there is no insurance. So the cop goes, son, go ahead and open up the glove box. So of course we open up the glove box. A little bit of marijuana falls out. Can I say weed? Okay. Can we get wild and crunk in here tonight? Can I say weed, guys? Okay. Holla for weed. Right? 1, 2, 3. You guys are terrible. Like potheads. But I did. So we got pulled over. He gets us all out of the vehicle. And he asked my first friend, he goes, son, what do you do? I said, well, I'm in the oil field. So do you realize that can mess up any kind of future you want to have there? Yes, sir. He asked me, son, what do you do? So I just got out of the Marines. I said, oh, that'll definitely mess up any kind of future if you want to go back in. He asked my third friend, he said, son, what do you do? The one of us that actually looked like we smoked weed. So what do you do? He goes, I work at the pottery barn. Cop goes, son, I think you're okay. And I was like, sir, I cannot go to jail. Please, I cannot. And he goes, I tell you what, if this Marine over here can do 50 push-ups, nobody's going to jail, right? So I zipped back up his pants as quick as I could, and I busted out 50 push-ups. Faster than I ever have. You want me to explain that for you? I was going to blow that man to get out of jail. Some of you are not laughing. So it's a very funny premise. I'm married. Been married for 7 years now. My wife is great. Thank you. Thank you. She's not here. Okay, we can talk a little shit about her. Okay. So she's 5'10". I'm 5'7". You know, it's a weird dynamic between us. It's a very weird dynamic. She's a little more manly than I am. Something I battle with. Like, I only grew this beard so people would quit thinking that she's a lesbian when we go out. It's like, oh, that really progressive couple. It's great. When I first met her, actually, the night I met her, she thought that I was gay, too. There's a pattern here, guys. I don't get it. I don't understand it. There seems to be a pattern. But she did. We sat and talked for like 4 hours the night we met. And still by the end of it, she was just like, I don't know. I think we slept with some of the same guys. Which I do understand. I'm not blind. I know I have a look to me, you know. I know I have a look that says the only testosterone I have, I caught in my mouth. So, she's also got more calluses on her hands than I do, which is very odd. It's a very weird thing, I think. Like, it's hard because anytime, like, she wants to fool around, I just feel like I'm getting jerked off by her ranch hand, you know? Just like, ease it back, Bubba. All right? Ease it back. So, I was in the Marines. That we talked about that earlier, right? Thank you. Hell yeah. I don't know who that was. That was fucking great. Thank you. I was in the Marines, and my wife owns all 4 of the guns that we have in our house. I don't know if you've seen any Netflix documentary in the last 4 years, but that's not going to end well for me.
No, it's not!
Thank you. Thank you. It's my wife's friend Shelly back there. You guys give it up for Shelly? So, she's going to be carrying my legs when my wife is carrying my head, you know? So... But no, my wife has the 4 guns that we have in our house, which I find very weird with me being a Marine and everything. Like, I feel like if we ever get robbed, they're just going to wait for her to leave and be like, all right, it's just the gay roommate here. Let's go steal all their shit. So, I actually really did notice the other day that she was more manly than I was when I was sitting on our couch, just kind of watching little stuff on my phone, just being a good husband, folding some clothes, you know, folding some towels and clothes. She was sitting in our recliner, kicked back, drinking a beer, watching a game. So I just leaned over and I was like, I feel like we never talk anymore. You don't see me. So, but... Like, after sex, I'm the one that's like, let's cuddle, okay? She's like, I gotta go change out the transmission in the floor. So, it's rough. It's a little bit rough. I actually don't think she finds me sexually attractive at all, too. I don't. Like, I've seen her porn searches before. There is no category that says 5'7" white guy, bank shake for 1.5 minutes. I've looked in detail. She also gets bad allergies around this time of year, too. She'll, like, completely lose her voice. But she still will, like, want to be intimate. She'll still want to have sex. And I hate it. I feel like I'm fucking RFK the entire time. It's terrible. She's just like, why is it going soft? I'm a little terrified you're gonna dump my body in Central Park when we're done. So, we also tried anal not long ago, too. Thank you. I'm adventurous. She hated it. Did not go well.
Ignore my husband.
She was just like, Michael, you cried way too much. See, I flipped it. That's comedy, guys. You think you know what's coming and it's twisted. To explain that joke, she fucked me in the butt. I don't know if you guys picked up on that. I'll explain a few of them if I need to, but... She's also into dirty talk, which is weird. I just find that so weird, you know? There's no amount of dirty talk that I can believe in. Like, there's nothing I can say that I have full faith that I can, like, accomplish, you know? I can't be like, I'm gonna go deeper, you know? I'm gonna go so hard. I don't believe any of that, you know? Not even a little bit. You know, I can try to be, like, honest with dirty talk, you know? Be like, I'm gonna try so hard. You slut. You know? It's about the extent of my dirty talk, so. She's never once asked me to fuck her harder either. I feel like she just knows in the back of her mind, you know? She just knows I don't have it in the tank. She's like, this guy's got one gear and it's neutral. Or reverse if it's my birthday. So. Oh man, are you guys having a good time? Every time you guys cheer, it burns about 20 seconds off my set, and I can actually, you know, burn that time up. So I appreciate it. You guys cheer one more time. What else? My wife's a dancer, not like a, you know, not like a stripper or nothing, but like she grew up dancing, and she was in like drill team and dance, and she can club dance. Hell yeah. She can do everything. She can drop it low, high, side to side, everything. So she likes to go dancing. I am not a dancer. I was in musical theater growing up, you know? I don't know if you guys know this. That doesn't translate to any sort of club environment. There's no scenario I could walk in and be like, what's up, girl? Hey DJ, here's a 10 spot. Do you have the Cats soundtrack? Rent, maybe? So. We did try counseling a few years ago. We tried to go to counseling. We went for about 3 weeks, is how far we made it through counseling. We actually quit going. True story. Our counselor called my wife a bitch. So she's like clairvoyant or something. So I was like, you just see things that I can't see. It's incredible. But I'm actually not sure how good of a counselor she was either. She also worked like part-time at Chipotle. So she's like, this isn't even my whole night, dude. So I got to dump rice in about 25 minutes. So. But I will say, men in the audience, if you do ever find yourself in that situation, guy on your phone? Dude. If you find yourself in that situation, stand up for your woman, okay? Right? Be on your lady's side, right? What you don't want to do is say, babe, that's a professional opinion, okay? It's a doctor's diagnosis. Watch her write that down, okay? So, I'm getting older. I'm 36. Yeah. Starting to find out just weird stuff about myself, you know? Like, I'm glad I'm married, too. You know, I'm glad I'm not, like, in my 30s and single as a man. I feel like that's hard. Because I feel like as a man in your 30s, you get single, calling your number. I feel like a man in your 30s and you're single, you just get real weird with it, you know? Like, I don't want to be some single guy in my 30s, like, painting his nails when he masturbates, you know? So that it feels like a different dude's doing it, you know? So. But I'm getting older. I found a pubic hair the other day longer than my penis. That shut shit down for me, you know? It's like, this is the end, I guess. I don't know. I'm like Benjamin Button backwards, you know? Nothing's growing. It's going the other way. I've got kids. I've got 2 kids. Thank you. They're pretty cool. I've got a 13-year-old son, and he does not respect me. He actually calls me Michelle. My name is Michael. But he'll do it like around his friends at like school and stuff. You know, like I go to like his sports events or different things at school. I'll just walk up and there'll be like a bunch of 8th graders just like, hey, Michelle. I'm just like, I'm getting bullied all over again. It's like by 8th graders. It's like, what is this, senior year? But I actually had to give him the sex talk not long ago too. I felt like I lied on a resume. I've never been more unqualified for anything in my entire life. And my wife was like, I think you need to give him the talk. And I was like, what kind of job do you think I'm doing? That I'm the guy for this. So I was like, you want to invite over your personal trainer? Maybe he can show him a few more things than I can. All right. So, but I gave him the sex talk, and it did go good. And we did have a real sweet father and son moment, I will say. We both found out what a clitoris was at the same time. So, it's just real sweet moment. However, my dad did not try to even give me the sex talk until I was like 17 years old. I was like, Dad, I had sex like 5 years ago, okay? 4 of those years consensual. So, you never know how that joke's gonna hit, you know? Not a huge pedophile crowd in here, I guess. So, there's always a few of them, you know, in every crowd. But my dad he tried to give me the sex talk, and I don't know where I'm at on time, because I forgot to start my watch when I got up here, but I will end with this. My dad tried to give me the sex talk when I was 17. And before that, the only other time he gave me any kind of talk about sex, I was 12 years old. He came into my room, said, son, take a seat real quick. Did you know that when you're, trying to play pocket pool, I want you to imagine that Jesus Christ, oh yeah, by the way, my dad's a pastor. I should have said that earlier. PK. So my pastor father was like, son, I want you to imagine Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Well, he's sitting right beside you. Because guess what, kiddo? He is. I've never came that hard in my entire life. Fantastic. Thank you guys so much for coming.